everyone, Chris Bennett here, your blockchain beard guy. Wanted to do a short video to address a question that seems to be coming up a lot. I think in just about every class, architecture class I teach, this question gets asked. It gets asked a lot on public forums, LinkedIn and Reddit. There seems to be a lot of discussion, and that is the doomsday threat or potential threat that quantum computing poses to blockchain. A lot of people are asking, hey, are quantum computers going to hack the blockchain? Are they going to render the blockchain useless? And I just wanted to share my opinions, just my opinions, so take them as that. But I wanted to dispel some of the fear and the myth around quantum computing and the threat that it poses to blockchain. So at a very high level, the idea is quantum computers are going to be able to break all the encryption algorithms that we're currently using on blockchain, simply because of their ability to guess so many random numbers simultaneously and to explore so many possibilities simultaneously. And so a couple things. This is not technology that we have today or technology that's commonplace. It's technology that we are predicting, we think maybe on the horizon, but no one knows the time scales for sure. That being said, really smart people, mathematicians, cryptographers, people much smarter than myself, have already worked out quantum-proof algorithms, encryption algorithms, and methods of encrypting data that aren't going to be vulnerable to quantum computers. So that's the first piece of good news, is once quantum computing becomes a common thing, we already have an answer ready to go. And a lot of people are worried, okay, well, even if we have these quantum-proof algorithms, aren't we going to have to go back and revalidate the entire chain? The answer is not necessarily. Remember that blockchain is immutable, and every block is linked to the next block, and that's what creates that immutable link. So even if we day forward move into quantum-proof algorithms, if we do it right, we still have the guarantee that even the old data that isn't encrypted with quantum-proof cryptography and algorithms is still connected to all the future blocks in an immutable and unbreakable way. So if anyone does try and change those blocks or any of the transactions on those blocks, we're going to know about it pretty easily. So that's number one. Number two, a couple things to understand about quantum computing. It doesn't give you an infinite amount of computing power. It gives you a quadratic increase in computing power for each what is known as a qubit. So to put this simply, if we're using SHA-256 or Keccak-256 encryption right now, and quantum computing becomes available, well, then the data is still encrypted, but it would be analogous to trying to break a 128-bit encryption algorithm today versus a 256-bit. So it does make things potentially a lot easier to decrypt and to hack, but it's still no trivial matter. And when you combine that with the fact that quantum computers aren't going to have the kind of clock cycles we're used to, maybe 1,000 cycles a second versus the gigahertz processors that we're used to now, quantum computers, just hate to break it to you, aren't going to be as powerful, at least right off the bat, as a lot of people think they're going to be. So those are some of the technical reasons why I think blockchain is going to remain pretty safe in the era of quantum computing. Another idea that's been talked about is using quantum entanglement, entangling a particle in the past with a current particle on the blockchain, and using physics itself to create an immutable ledger, so no one can go back and tamper with any data on the blockchain. And I'll just say overall, once you get to a certain age, you start to see that history repeats itself, and you see the same patterns over and over. And this fear about quantum computing sure reminds me a lot of all the fear we had 20 years ago around Y2K. And once we roll from 1990 something into 2000, well, programmers a long time ago only allocated two digits to store a year. So we're going to roll back to the year 0, and this is going to bring society to its knees. The world is going to stop. Every computer will cease to function on New Year's Day. Then New Year's Day came and went, and nobody even noticed anything. So just by their very definition, keep in mind that doomsday predictions have a terrible track record. The fact that we're still here means that not one single doomsday prediction has come true. I think the last one that we all laughed off was December 21st, 2012, when the ancient Mayan prophecy meant that the world was going to end. So not to say that we shouldn't be thinking about quantum computers and the effect that they're going to have on things like blockchain, but I just don't think it's going to be the doomsday scenario that everyone is worried about. And keep in mind that if quantum computers do live up to the hype and give us this kind of amazing computing power, and you want to use that power for evil and exploitation, there are a lot bigger targets, a lot of things that you could hold hostage or ransom besides the blockchain that would allow you to reach those ends a little bit more effectively. I think where we'll actually see quantum computing used for people who want to turn a profit from it isn't going to be hacking the blockchain. It's going to be using those computers or those devices as consensus nodes on a proof of work network, like Bitcoin or like Ethereum for the time being. So those are just my thoughts on quantum computing. Again, just my opinions. Doesn't mean I'm right. But I just don't think it's worth all the fear and the anxiety that a lot of people in this space have right now. So hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you're enjoying blockchain. I'd love to hear your thoughts on quantum computing and blockchain and the threat or non-threat that it poses. Share your opinion in the comments. Let's get a good discussion going. Until next time, this is Chris Bennett, Blockchain Beard Guy. Have a good one.